Good morning. Welcome to This Week in Civics. This is a bi-weekly show where we talk about different civics topics that you can incorporate into your classroom. As spring comes to an end, all eyes are turned to the Supreme Court. The court's rulings for this term, which contain many significant cases from concerns of the Second Amendment to abortion, are going to be released very soon. And recently, a draft opinion was leaked that indicates that the court may overturn precedent set in Roe versus Wade. Civic Action has followed as supporters of all sides of that issue, have taken the street and talked about it. And so this week at the Bill of Rights Institute, we're also thinking about the court and its role within our constitutional system. Our Think the Vote question is asking students to debate and consider whether or not the court should be more transparent. Over the years, the court has been famously reserved, mostly because it's trying to maintain its apolitical position. But as things like this decision come out and as court proceedings become more and more political and conversations around who should be a justice has become more part of the political system and those debates have increased, we're just asking students to debate and consider whether or not the court should continue to be as reserved as it is, or whether or not more transparent information about its proceedings should be released. We're also in our e-lesson asking about where the court sits within our constitutional system. Many times throughout American history, the question of whether or not the Supreme Court should be the final arbiter on what is or is not constitutional has come up since the famous Marbury versus Madison case in 1803, when Justice Marshall famously handed down his decision that the court would determine whether or not something was constitutional. That has been up for debate. And so we provide students with a bunch of different primary sources and moments in American history where this has come up, from Andrew Jackson's veto message to the bank to Abraham Lincoln's first inaugural address, which addresses Dred Scott. We ask students to think about the court's place, why it does hold that place in the Constitution, whether or not that's a benefit, or whether or not there are challenges that come from that, or whether or not there are other institutions within the government that can think about the constitutionality of laws, really to help them understand why the court is so important and why that role of someone determining constitutionality of laws and cases is so important. So we thank you for joining us. We thank you for coming to the Bill of Rights Institute for all your civic needs, all your civic education needs. We know that citizenship is hard work, and we are here to help facilitate those important conversations around founding constitutional principles within your classroom. So we hope you'll join us again soon.